This DVD is on the plum position, also known as necktie, double necktie position. The plum is used in Muay Thai and in Vale Tudo fighting and is a big portion of the clinching game. This DVD will cover positions, transitions, escapes, counters, ways to strike, and ways to get out of this position. In this position, there's a lot of different ways we're going to enter into it. Most of them are coming from the punches. So if we're here and he throws a jab cross, I parry the first hand and I come in. Again, I parry and grab. Jab cross, I parry, parry, and grab. This one is I reach around the outside. I reach around and I grab, and jab cross, I reach around the outside and grab. Or I reach inside and grab, he jabs, I reach inside and grab. Okay, again, his hands are up. So again, I tap and grab, I tap and grab, I slide to the outside and grab, and as I do that, I'll pull him. He crosses, I slide to the outside and grab. Jab, I reach inside and grab him. Jab cross, I reach inside to grab the head. These are 6 different ways I'm going to use to get a hold of his head. Okay. Again, tap, grab, tap, grab. Outside deflection, inside deflection, and inside deflection. Okay, now I can also, if his hands are up, I can double tap and grab. And grab like that. Again, I go double tap and grab, or left, right, and grab. Okay. Sometimes I fake the shot and he drops, and I come up and grab the head. Other times, I kick once, I fake the kick and grab. Okay. Again, I fake low, and I reach up and grab the head. I can double tap and just grab right off the bat. I can kick, fake the kick and grab, and sometimes I just start right off the bat and jump and grab. Now I have a hold of the head. Now I can go into the clinching from here. Clinching and hitting. This can also be used when he jab crosses. I can take it off any of these. If he kicks, I can reach up and grab. If he knees, I can block and grab. If he shoots, stop and grab. I've got the position. So these are all different ways to enter into getting the double necktie for the start of the plum position. Usually once we get the double necktie position, we establish this. There's 2 ways you can grab when his head's up. Now I can grab palm over palm, and I keep my forearms inside here like this, because this will form the bridge and the base to the structure of this hold. Okay, I usually want to keep one leg forward, one leg back, because I'm going to knee, bung, okay, or I'll keep 2 hips back, because I don't shoot on me. I don't want him to be able to shoot. I want to keep my hips back. I want to have all my control in here. If my head is up, he can push my chin. Okay, so I want to keep my head down. So he goes to push, I kind of block and I keep his head nice and tight. Now this position, some people do this. If you have a fingerless glove, this might be just as well. Lift your head up. So this is pretty good control. A lot of people say don't do this because it's easy for your fingers to get caught. But you want to really hold that person, pull your head out. Pull it out, bob and weave out. It's just pretty tight. So some people say this is bad, some other people use this. This one, people say sometimes is good, others say it's not good, because what happens is you have a tendency once you knee that he pops out the bottom or bobs and weaves out, which is true because a lot of times, especially if you have a big chest and shoulders, if you lift weights, this is a hard position to hold and touch your elbows and hold this while you're actually really trying to knee someone hard. The third position we're going to use on the neck will be palm over palm this way. Okay. Personally, I've seen more so in Europe, and they go like this, they hold it like that. When he lifts his head up, this is still really powerful. This one is more a bicep curl, and then this one is the same, but you're just clinching and really locking your fingers in. Some people, when they do this, they warm it up like this, okay, and the same thing like this, okay, because that's your control on the neck. You want this control so I can steer his head around, or like this, so I can steer his head. Okay? So we have what we call rocking the boat when we knee. Rocking the boat is you're pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling like that. Okay? So when you're doing this, it's a push and pull. This is where the problem lays, where he will escape, is on this. Look at where I pull. The people's elbows will open up and he'll be able to slip out. Okay. So again, you really want to stress everything nice and tight in this position here. We're going to go into the transitionary positions from the plum. Now a lot of people think that the plum is just the neck control, which is fine for Muay Thai, but really then again it's not, because it's all mixed. Any way to knee and strike from this position we call the clinch position. Bum in Thai means wrestling, and these are wrestling Thai clinch up positions. Okay, we're going to go into the positioning now. These are transitions that you'll end up doing while you're in this position. Remember, anytime your arms are up above here, what are you giving your partner? The bear hug. So if he's striking and we're in here tight, grab me. This position's okay, but if he gets around my back a little more, I'm going to get thrown. So you've got to be really hesitant onto where some of the hand positions are. I prefer to keep my elbows down a little bit more, but you can do some of these positions while you're actually moving. All right, so number one is the plum position is here. So what he's going to do now is he's going to take his hand and he will start to push. He starts to come in and try to reach in. So as he does this, I jam this up and put the two together. Notice I hold the tricep and the side of the head together from here. This is great for the knee. This is great for the curved knee. And it's good for your throw here. Okay, so again, when I'm here, he shoves up. I shove this in and up. Number one. This goes to two. Okay. Number three is I just go into a side hold, which is more from a side position, and this is for the knee here. Or if I bend him, this would be a high knee here. Curved knee, curved knee, curved knee here. You can hook his calf. Okay, and you go right from here into the next position. We call seat belt. Seat belt position is a transitionary position that I'm going to use to throw him or to take him down or to strike him. Okay, and I make sure these three fingers hold, and I hold his hip. That's where the seat belt is. Control. Okay, from right here I would take his back with one arm in for the throw or for the hitting. Notice I could still hit him from the back. I could still knee him. I can still knee the coccyx. I can still shin kick. I can knee the back of the hamstring and the butt. I can curve knee the leg. So this is still a good striking position. Then I go to this position here. And any time here, this could go high or low. I could hold him here and still hit and then buckle his knees to break him. Okay? But I go around his waist, I want to control his hips and keep my head in. Never should my head lift up once, because he could back elbow. Okay, so everything's always tight. Now I go back into the position here. And then I can come back into the side. If he turns out, bang, I can come back in. Shoves up, push it up, take the side position, and this can be here. You're using your forearm here, grabbing your hands either this way or this way, keeping it extremely tight, keeping it up, rotating to side, taking one arm in, going just straight in, switching sides. Notice I can transition real easy from here. And then I'd probably come right back up to this position again. Okay. If he heads in, heads up, I come around the body here. Okay. And I start to step. He starts to hip away, come back up like that. He hips in, I come up, just like that. He starts to hip away. You can go into your next set. Transitions. Okay. Okay, shows my face. Push it up. Position. Control here. Take it to here. Take it to here. Take it to your arm in. Take it here. Shows my face. Okay. This is the first transition position from double necktie. Okay, this is the clinch position transitions from the plum number 2. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into a different sequence because he gives me a different energy. So when Jeremy comes in, what we're going to do now is from this position, his hand will come up, and instead of trying to pass under it, I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to use it with my head here. So as I go from here, he starts to reach up. I control this. If he starts to punch with that, this hand can block. He brings it underneath. I follow here with that elbow. So I'm going to keep it from here. Next position is double tricep bicep. We go bicep control, monkey grip, head in. He punches. It's kind of a steering wheel position from here. And it's a good controlling position for takedowns and for hitting. Okay, the next position is I'm going to reach over the body and come into the wrist control with my head in. And his head will be fighting for this control. Okay, at this time I switch to an underhook because underhook is offensive. And when I do this, I'm going to grab. I don't just grab here because he can rip my elbow up. That's not good. So when I take it, I grab his, again, 3 fingers real tight, and I'm going to keep my elbow jammed into him when I keep this position. So he actually feels like this is spring-loaded. So I'm going to control right here. Okay, or control the bicep because we're going to be fighting for punching and takedowns from here. Next position from right here would be the bear hug or the low bear hug. Okay, so if he steps around to the center, I would go into the bear hug clinch here or body vice. Okay, from right here, he steps around, boom, right here or here. These two are interchangeable. This is a slide, so I might try to lift him and suck his hips in. So the key on this, again, is grabbing your wrists, bringing your elbows in. From this position, his counter would be to double overhook. And he keeps his hands straight and straightens his arms. Look at all the pressure on my arms here. Usually when he does that, he's going to shimmy his hips to break my grip, and he'll take both of my arms into one. This is called 2-on-1. 2-in-1, sorry. This is called 2-in-1. So he's got both of my arms. This is good for hitting my kidney and my liver and my head, and also for a big throw. So this is hard for me. What I want to do is I want to get out of this position. So I'm going to try to squirm right away. From here, I would try to either get out, or he would try to transition to the next position, which would probably be seatbelt. Oh, like that. I would have to strip my hip, keep it here to come back in to get control. So again, the sequence from here will go like this. From right here, I have plum, double necktie, reaches up, control the bicep or tricep. He reaches up his other hand, I control 2. So I have the steering wheel. Right from here, I'm going to go right to the overhook and control. So I can hit. From right here, underhook, step in, open bear hug, low bear hug. He goes over 2 arms, straightens his arms, look, it kills my grip, grabs, he goes to 2. Then from right here, if I can pull out, I will go. If I can pull this out, I'll try to trick it and go to this position. Again, if he has this, I'll try to strip this out. See this arm, he's got a whizzer, so I'll limp arm, take his back, or he will do the same here to me. Just spin and take my back. Ooh. Okay? I would always have to strip my hip, or if he comes into the full bear hug position, I would have to control and defend and get back up to here. At any given time, all these positions are used to take someone down. So I'm not only striking him, I'm going to take him down from each position. That's why it's It's like you're walking on thin ice in each one of these positions because it's for striking and for takedowns. That's why these positions are all transitionary. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, he goes to 8, 9, and 10. Strip it, come back. Reaches up the other side. 1, 2, reaches up, 3, control, 4, 5. This will come into here. 5, 6, 7. He goes to 8 and 9. 2 on 1 goes to 10. Spins to my back. Control. Strip your hip. Come up. Okay, so this is transitionary position number 2. Okay, next is the transitionary positions from the plum, number 3. This all has to do with bending your partner forward. Once the person's bent forward, we're going to do all the transitionary positions from here. So, when I have the plum position, the necktie, double necktie, what's going to happen now is if I knee him, I want to bend him forward. Or another way to bend him forward is to foot stomp him. Because if I foot stomp him, I get on top here. Or if he shoots for a double, boom, I stop him, I'm on top. Okay, a lot of people just lay here. This is known as the safety zone. And it's the zone, it's a box. It goes like this. And this is where I don't want his head to sneak out of. That will allow him to get out. If his head sneaks out, he's out. So I've really got to cover his head. So again, from this position, I could knee him, he could shoot, I could stop him, or I could fake a shot and he would drop, and then I come on top to get this position. Also, you could use a shin kick or a foot stomp to get this position. Okay, now, from here, the sequence from right here, it's double necktie. You bring him forward, snap him. Come underneath and grab 2 hands together. This is known as a stock. Stop, and keep your hips back, because you want to be able to knee him from here. This is good for throwing, also a neck cranking him. Okay, what happens now is the person will bring their arms down like that. So as they bring their arms down, I just grab his chin and hold his back as much as I can. He's going to be trying to wind this arm down as much as he can, but still, look at, I still have his chin, and I can still knee his head. Okay, from right here, I'm going to take this, he pulls it down, and I'm going to grab my hands together. Again, this is for kneeing and for takedowns. And I will abandon and go to a single head control or choke position or neck crank position from here. From right here, I would go straight up to the head and just take the head. As you can see, this is great for snapping, great for lifting, and great for kneeing. Okay, again, so I start out 1. Pull his head down, reach underneath. 2. He pulls his arms down, grab his chin. 3. Pulls his other arm down. 4 is a headlock. 5 is just a single choke or head control. 6 is from here. At any time you can work a submission or a strike or a takedown from each one of these positions. Now if he starts to back up, I throw his head up into the air. That would give me the ability to shoot or to come back up and grab. If he stays here and panics, I will snap him to the floor. And a lot of times you'll knee him so he'll start to sit into the guard. And I just pin his head to the floor and I'll run around him and control him. Okay? So personally, I like this position because this head control is really a panic state for the person once you hit him a couple times. Okay, so we start out again. I go plum necktie, snap his head, double underhook. Keep your hips back. If your hips are forward, it's not good. He can pop, bring his arms out, and take my back. He'll bring his arms down and flex like Arnold. Does the Arnold flex and comes and takes my back. Oops. Okay, so again, one. Right here I go to the chin. I hold the chin. From the chin I go to the arm tuck. Notice the way my hands are nice and tight. I can also move my hip to the side here to choke. Okay, just make sure that this forearm is nice and tight from here. From right here, just abandon and go to here for the choke or for the neck crank. And snap it out to this position. And back up. One, bring him down. Two, look at where his head is. Keep your hips back. Okay, from right here, go to, he starts to bring it down. Three, hold his chin. Just hold his chin. Four. And in this position, this is okay with your hip, or you should have your head here. Because if there's any space at all, he can sucker drag and pull out. See that? So when I take this position, I want to make sure that my head is nice and tight because I'm actually going to start choking him from here. And I can grab here or grab my hands like this. Pull out. This is really solid. Okay. If I just have this is easier for him to pull out. See that? When I have this is really hard for him, and I'm squeezing my elbows together. Much harder for him to pull out. Much harder. Okay? Now I go right from here, just abandon the arm and go right to the choke. There's many, many different variations we use for choke. This is more so just to hold. I'm not going into the submission right now. This is to hold because I can still knee him, I could still kick him, I could still snap him, I could still shuck him. From right here, I go right from this position right into the head control position. At any given time, from this, or from this, or from here, I can shuck him up, snap him down, or shuck him sideways and run. So take his back. And now you've got the full series from here. Hold, neck crank. Okay, this is just a hold. I don't even have to put a lock on. I'm just going to hold him and hit him. Okay, another thing you can do is just scoop his head and his tricep to take his back. Scoop and push. But we want to keep contact, so once I'm here, I keep contact with him. Keep my hips back. You can go to here right off the bat. Take it here. Take it here. Neck control, cranking, here, here. Keep all my weight on. Okay. So this is transitionary positioning number 3.
These are all the escapes that we will use to counter the double necktie plumb position.
Okay, the first one is as he's grabbing my neck, as he's reaching up to grab, he reaches up, 2 hands. Good. Never, come back, never reach with 2 hands. When he reaches with 2 hands, you can always parry and hit. If he reaches up with 2, you can parry and hit, or you can hit at the same time, or you can hit at the same time. So he's always going to reach up with 1 hand while 1 hand's defending, keeping it on his head. Watch, if I'm going to grab him, I don't just reach, I don't try to reach this usually. Because when he reaches up to grab like that, this is really easy to get hit. So every time you're grabbing the neck, you want to grab with 1 hand at a time. Go. Good. All right. First, right before he pulls my head down and crunches me, I've got to step to the middle and head up. As I do this, I'm going to jam the back of his triceps in and detach his hands. Okay. Again, he grabs, I step, head up, and jam it in. Again, step and jam it in. The jam will allow me to double leg tackle or follow up with what we call a Japanese double leg. So if I take it and I step and detach, look at where his base is. He's straight on, my head goes here, double leg. He reaches in to grab, I head up, double leg tackle. One more time. double.
Escape number 2 is known as a shuck. As I shuck him, I'm going to shuck and snap the back of his head. So when he grabs me here, my head, again, if he knees, I've got to block with my forearm. Okay, it's got to be fast, so one more time. Boom, right from here my head comes up, and I'm going to slap the back of the head and take the arm same time. Again, he knees and come on top. Again. He knees, head, come on top. One more time. Shuck, snap, and come on top. Escape 3 from the double necktie is bear hug, also known as body vice. What happens is the person, when they grab your neck, they forget to leave their forearms as a brace between you and their body. So when they pull, they weaken this part because they're so focused on driving the knee through that this becomes weak. So what happens is when he knees, he forgets that this, the forearms, is the brace that stops me. Drop your forearms, like that. And they need to be on my collarbone, so he really, really needs to keep all his weight on my head and really thrust those elbows forward like that into me. That's going to stop me from coming in. So when he knees, I come right into this position. Okay? If he leaves those out, those forearms out and in to me, in, again. When he knees and he drops his forearms, this will prevent me from grabbing, and I know immediately that I will not do this escape. The reason I do it is because when he knees, I follow this in. Now I'm into the tackle position. Notice what I get. I get this, and I'm going to step. I'm going to keep my hips lower than his, and I'm going to take this and drive it backwards to break, and then step over to the top. Again, so he grabs, he knees, block, step in. Look at the position. I could do two things here. I could pull his hips into me, and as I pull him in, and then I step over his body as he's falling, and I slide into the mount. Number 2, from the same position, is he knees, and I'll step from right here. And what I'll do is I'll lift him just a little bit and use my knee to block and turn his body. And take him down to my position with an underhook. That means I can punch and hammer fist and knee and step over from here. Again, he grabs, knees, step, head up. Okay, lift him, knee block him, and land with him. Look at this, underhook, I'm already underhooked. Okay, this is usually cross face immediately. And you can strike him with the saw, you can hit him, you can hammer fist him, and you can knee him from here. Step over and lock the arm. Again, it's because when he knees, his arms remained up. He could rip my head down, so I want to be able to drop as he starts to head, like drop and take the back. Same thing. Step to the side, and that would be your big back throw. Again. Head. Boom. He can rip my head down. Well, I can take his back. Defense number 4 is a wedge. The wedge is used on the ground when someone's pulling your head and is also used when you're standing up facing your partner. This is so they're trying to pull your head down. This prevents them from really pulling hard because they have to have their head to pull. So for me, I'm going to prevent him from pulling my head by wedging his neck up. So when he has my neck here, I'm going to keep one forearm low to block the knees. Okay? Right away, this hand's going to, notice how it weaves across his neck here, and I grab the top. Preference would be to go right here. I like this, knee me. If he pulls his hand back to hit me, my hand's already on his bicep. Punch. I'm already in. Again, so grab, he goes knee, and he goes to punch. my hand would already be inside. Now I've already got the next position. So what I use now is when he goes to knee, I wedge this. Look at, when I wedge this up, what does that give me? It gives me, number one, I relax on the next, pull me in. See, it's easier for me not to get pulled in. Pull me in now. Oh! Pull me in now. See the difference? Now this will allow me to detach this. Okay. Anytime I detach it, I can come underneath it, come inside, grab. I wedge, I detach. I've got a big hip throw. Wedge. And I can also reach inside and I can take his head. So the wedge, go again, will be the 3 fingers on the trapezius and my other hand low because he's going to knee. Keep my head tight like that. You can detach it by pushing this off. Look at this, going to give you the double leg, the body tackle. Grabs, I wedge and detach. This will give you the big hip throw. Or if he blocks with his hip in, then I fake and step behind him. And last would be wedge and take inside control. Again, he grabs, wedge, take inside control. Then I can knee him. Okay, number 5 defense is the bob and weave. Again, like I said earlier, a lot of times when people grab their hands, they open this spot here. When they open that spot, that's your chance to get out. So here's where I usually will do it from. He goes to knee, goes to knee, just as his knee goes back. So as soon as he hits me with that knee, there's no chance of another knee coming up immediately after. So if he knees, even if he goes fast, go. Keep going, alternate. Alternate. Okay? Good. So it's right after that knee hits, I'm out. And usually what I'll do is I'll hit him as he's doing it. So he grabs and he goes to knee. My right hand right here again. Boom, and I come over the top. Same thing, he knees, and right here I lean back and uppercut. He knees, I left or right hook. I left hook. Okay, so I can add all the punching to this. So when he knees, I'm out like that. Usually the right hand will come in right afterwards. Again, boom, I bob and weave, my head goes down, and I right overhand. The second version, again, would be block, bob and weave to the left hook. He grabs, he knees, bob and weave out, right kick, bob and weave out, left kick, bob and weave out, tackle, bob and weave out, tackle. And these are ways I'm going to get my head free to get into either strike him or counter the shot with the bob and weave head free. Escape number 6 is one I got from a friend from Japan. He's a judo player and he also does Muay Thai, and he used to be the lightweight Shuto champion. So I call this one the Tanaka because every time I used to try to grab his neck, he used to do this to me. So I think it's pretty good. Works all the time. When he grabs, immediately I jam it off. As soon as you grab, you jam it off immediately. Grab my neck. Jam it and hold here. Now I'm going to take a big step to my left and I'm going to knee him at the same time. One more time. So I jam, hold these two together. And I step and knee. One more time. Jam it, step, and knee. Okay, so if he grabs with the other side, you jam and grab the head same time. Keep these two together. Big step and knee. One more time. Jam and knee. Again, jam and knee. Grabs with the other side. Knee. Okay. The second portion goes into the judo, which is the hip throw. So when he grabs, I go 1, I knee, and I step here. Hip throw. Again, he grabs, I jam it, big knee, step, goes to the other side, grab, big knee, grab the lat, step across, grabs, Technique 7 is a double leg. So what I'm going to do is block that knee and follow it in. Now there's two things I could do. I could try to throw him with his arms, or I could follow his knees in. So this one, what I'll do is I'm going to follow his knee. So as soon as he grabs and he goes to knee me, I'm going to follow that knee back in and drive into the double leg. Control. The key on this, again, is the fact that when he knees, you don't want this bridge dropping down, because when I start to drop here, he drops his forearms. Look at, and I keep your forearms on me. I don't want to, see now look at, he's got me back. Now I'm going to eat the knee again. Okay, so this is really dangerous. When he goes, he knees, boom, knee me. Fast knee. Again. Again. That's what it is. I want to go right underneath it. Take it, latch my hands, and now this is easy just to turn him sideways and go on top. Okay. Again. He knees, drop underneath him. Because most people won't keep that bridge there. Now, once my hands are latched, this is easy. All I have to do is just suck his left knee in and turn him down. Head up. He grabs, he knees. This time he keeps his forearms there. So what do I do from here? I know he's going to go to the knee again. I've got to block. And maybe I'm going to try to keep coming back in. So if I go like this and I knee and he shoots, shoot. See, I've got to keep my weight here. Okay, he's going to panic, so he's going to try to get out. I would probably go into the neck shuck from here. Shuck me. Okay. So again, if I knee and he goes a double leg and I drop here, shuck it off. See, he's on my back. Okay. Because the person keeps that, they're real good here. And then knee, he goes a double leg. Look at shuck. He's on my back. Okay. This is the striking portion to the plum clinch position. These are non-conventional attacks that I've got from many different people and have created through time, through playing around with this position. Bring in Jeremy. Okay, what I'm going to do now from this position, I can work a lot of stuff. When I'm going to get control here, okay, one thing I want to do is I want to cut him. And one way to cut him is to knee him. So one way is when I reach up, I'm going to grab and pull his glove down and grab the side of his head. This will allow me to knee the side of his head. So as soon as I grab the top and I grab the glove and then I knee. Okay, the same thing on the other side from here. As I grab, I cut, just like that. One more time, I grab and cut the head and high knee. Okay. Grab and knee. Grab and knee. Okay, another one from here. As I go high knee, I go deep. So I'm actually thrusting it in like that. He goes to block, and I slide back and suck his head down into the knee. So I go one deep, one high. Again, one deep, and one high. Okay. Next, I go deep knee. I fake the deep knee, and I curve it at the last second. I go deep knee and bring it back. Every time I knee, my knee has to hit the floor right away, otherwise he's going to grab my leg. Okay. So I'm just sticking it quick and deep and down. Now I fake and I rotate it up. Again, fake and rotate it up. Fake and rotate it up. Okay, same thing on the other side. So the deep knee, fake, and bring it up to the side. Okay. All right, from right here, I've got Jeremy's head. Right from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to deep knee to get him to bend, then I go to the top of his head. This will give me the deep knee here and the deep knee here. Okay. If I take this position and I knee him, I will snap him down. Control his head from the side. This will allow me to punch him, hit his kidney, head up, kick his face,
or knee his body, or kick the back of the leg here. Okay? So again, if I'm here and I get a hold of his head, I knee once. He bends forward, I hook the top of the head. Once I've got the top of his head here, I go one knee, he starts to block, and I snap him down. Come to this side here, holding the head, either left or right leg forward. If my left leg's back, his head lifts, I will kick the face, or knee the head, or keep your weight on his head, knee the body, hit the kidney, kick the leg, or from right here, his head pops up, punch and kick the head. From right here, okay? So you can punch, or punch, or punch, 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 big knee, face kick. If he goes to the guard, lays back into the guard, put his head down here and punch. He starts to defend. Drive your knee in and start running your knee through his head. Okay. Okay. In the plum, when I've got him, I start to knee. His head comes down. I reach over, I reach under. What I've got, keep my head back. Okay, down on his side, my hips are back. I knee his head. I'm just going to knee here at the top of his head. When he brings his arms down, I hold it here. Okay, and I knee the top of the head. Anytime I can snap him to the ground. Now from right here, I would take his side and usually work this and start to hit. And hammer a fist. Or I'll hit underneath here. Or I'd hit underneath here. Over hammer fist. Cover the head, or take the side here. Hit, hammer fist, hit underneath, hit, hammer fist, hit. Okay. If I want to trap his arm, I put my leg up, he grabs it, I hook it in here, perfect. And I can hip down on this and control it. This is really good. This position's real good, number one, to start to lock, or switch to lock, or I can sit out with this arm. He'll try to roll or whatever. Now I can just back swing, come into control here. Striking a lot of times when Jeremy's tight on me, we have a 50-50 tie-up. We call it over and under grip. You'll end up in this grip a whole lot. So one thing I've got to be careful of, a lot of people, they try to really bait the person on this leg because they want to get them to step, and then they'll pick the leg up. So a lot of times what they'll do is they'll take a big step to the right and drag this in and then pick the leg, which is great for kneeing. Again, I'll take this, I will step to the right and drag this back. Notice his leg. Pick, knee pick and lift and knee here. Or they'll lift it a little higher and knee the head here. Okay, so from this position, I like this position, sometimes a spar, because I'm going to use this and I'm going to lift it and quick knee. I'm going to lift this up and quick knee. And if I do this, after I hit my base, I can also calf cut. I can also foot stomp, and inside calf cut. See his leg? I inside calf. Stomp, hook. Okay, look at the kidney from here. Okay, he starts to bring his elbow back. Woof, big cross through the center again. From right here, again, 50-50 tie up. Okay, from right here, I would lift this up, curve knee, and set it back down. Usually then I would either try to lateral drop throw or step and snap him through here. Okay, all right, so from this position, I can also knee the legs here. Knee, knee, look at the curved knees. Okay, straight knee, calf cut, hook the calf, stomp the foot. Hit the kidney, his arm comes back, look at this, a little bump, and forearm goes across the face, whoosh. Okay, look where his head is. Sometimes they hold their head low, like that. All you're gonna do is you're gonna step. As I step, I'm gonna turn high knee. step, turn, and high knee here, because his head's real low. Another thing I could do is I could take my left hand and push his head down and knee at the same time. So I turn it and I push his head down. Okay. Okay. You can try to foot sweep the person. If I go here, foot sweep, and as they're falling, you knee them. I step and pull his lat and knee. Okay. And stomp. Sometimes from here you can also use your forearm. I use my forearm on the leg like this to get his leg to go back. And then maybe I'll trip him. I'm on top. And another thing, watch my shoulder. See his head? He puts his head on my, if he puts his head real low, I lift my knee to lift his head up. And then look at this. I punch around. If his head's up, I punch around this way. When his head starts to come back down, I lift high. I lift high, boom. His head comes up a little, boom, across. Just bring this right across. And here. And then here. Knee, foot stomp, calf cut, control. Push his head and knee. Control. Okay. This is from the 50-50 tie-up, when my partner's in here. If I kick his leg, he's gonna shoot in. Oh, shoot. And I'm gonna pick him up. Now I have this position. Notice I got two arms in, so he'll pummel in. So now we're 50-50 tie. And sometimes when I kick him, he'll just enter right away into this. Look at 50-50 tie. Okay, so your key right now, because you're gonna get thrown, is to base, keep your balance, and then strike. So again, you're striking from here. He's got me from right here. Watch my arm. I bring it way out here. Here's okay, but here, I've got a big punch from right here. Okay, so sometimes I just leave it out and I bring it back and hold him. Bring it out, his arm comes out, and he'll start to block my arm, put his hand on my bicep. Watch my hand now. I'm gonna bring my hand inside his bicep. Now this will give me a chance to hit close, boof. To hit close. Or to push him, and uppercut. Take it here, again, I go to hit. Control, I push it, put my head in there, lift back, and lift my uppercut. I hit, control, hook. Okay, I'm gonna try to hit here and hit here too, to get this shot. Okay, also from here, once I start to hit around, his head starts to come down, just like this. Watch his head, I'm hitting around, bring it inside. Okay, now watch. My hand from here just comes up and underneath. See it? Watch his head. So I'm lifting it up. His head comes up, and there's my arm across. Okay, again, I hit here. I hit across, or I hit around. I start hitting around the side of his head, so now I'm coming underneath. And see this hand? His head starts to go down, inside. So wherever he goes in this position, I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit him here. His head comes up. I hit him across, hold. His head comes outside like it is again. What do? Knee, okay, curve knee, lift in knee, hit, hit, hit. See the hit's gonna come through the center, hit him. He's holding me tight. He's also gonna be trying to hit me too. See what I use? I use my forearm. If he hits over the top, I can use my forearm high, or he goes to hit over the top. I control here. Look at, I got the quick hits. That's all I want to do. And if I put my head here, look at, I get a sandwich effect on his head. So if you look at control, see that? He's getting a sandwich of his head from here to here. Okay? And also look at, so it can be trying to add all these little hits from here. Foot stomp, leg, hook, while he's holding. He'd be trying to throw me. Base, base, base.
This is all from the 50-50 tie-up. Okay, the sequence now in the plum will be from when they grab my neck. So you have offensive and defensive. So now I'm defensively attacking him because when he grabs my neck with two hands. Now I've got to be careful because I know I'm going to get kneed. I know it. And what I don't want to do is get my head down here. I don't want my head down. So I'm going to leave my head up. So when he tries to pull my head in, I leave my hips forward. If he goes around my body, I keep my hips back. So again, when he goes for my head, I keep my hips in. When he goes for my body, I keep my hips back. And I don't want to run straight backwards because if I do, he's going to bum rush me into the corner. So he runs me, and I just circle, and I can switch position. So the circle game is vitally important in this position because if you don't, you're going to get bum rushed into a corner, a bar stool, a bumper, a bunch of your buddies, whatever. So the key on this is just to turn. So he's not a guided missile that can find its target. So now when he grabs, the drill is he's going to lift his head up. So I'm just going to simulate, chin down. I'm going to simulate all my hits from here. Okay, notice the hockey punch. So I can go low, 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 uppercut. Okay, let go once. So my punching patterns is here. So I'm hitting with my shoulders. High. So I go low, low, high. Overhand and uppercut is diagonal. And the opposite is the same way. And over and under. And then overhand and upper. Okay, so when he grabs, now I have the option at any time to do any of these. Okay, and then I grab him. Same drill, I leave my head up. The key is your elbows and shoulder snap. These are close quarter punches. You snap your shoulders, you got power. Don't snap your shoulders and just punch with your arms like a lot of people. Okay? There's nothing. Use your body. I know if these connected, they'd be hurting me. This is how you need to punch. If you hit your partner, that means it's my turn next. He grabs. Okay? This is not the way to do the drill. Okay? Simulate it in the air a little bit. I could put a belly belt on, and he could hit the belly belt. Okay? Just don't make contact when you're doing this. This is simulation. If you can pop and snap your punch in the air, it's easy when you make contact. Another thing for this is heavy bag. He's hitting a heavy bag nice and close. I could put a towel around his neck and have him hit the heavy bag. I could put a towel or rope around his waist, hold him tight, and have him hit the heavy bag. The key is snapping the shoulder, dropping your weight, and lifting the elbow. Because the key on this punch, long range punch, he keeps his elbow in. But short range, he pops his elbow. So it's almost like he's throwing an elbow. Okay, same thing when he punches. Look where the power comes. You don't do a bench press with your elbows to your side. Both elbows to your side and bench up. Okay, that's only for one part of your muscle. That would be more for your triceps and the center of your chest. Keep it out, keep your elbows out, now you're working this part. And this is one of the strongest parts of your chest because you're including the shoulder muscle, the chest, and the intercostals. So by using all three parts here, you have a lot more power when you throw a short cross. Uppercut's the same way. The power comes from your legs and your hips and your shoulder. So it's a pop, pop it, pop, and bring it back. Hook, same thing. Low hook, high hook. Right cross. Left hook. Right overhand. Left uppercut. Right cross. Hook. Overhand. Uppercut. Low high. Low high. Now he does the same from here. Uses his body, moves his shoulders. It should be hard for me to hold him realistically because he'd be slugging away. He takes a knee, but he gives back 3 punches. I think that's a pretty fair trade. He takes one big knee. Ooh, it hurts him. Boom, boom, boom. 3 shots. 1 knee to 3 shots. That's a pretty fair trade, I think. This drill is really important.
These are targets you're going to aim for. These are called vital targets and are vitally important in finishing him. These are all body targets and possibly some of the head. These are for knockouts. Okay, number one is the liver, and it's located, here's your floating rib. It's located like right below the rib, above the hip bone and below the rib, so it's about right here. Second is your spleen. It's on the opposite side. Put your arms on. So the spleen would be here. The heart punch is here. We call it a heart punch because what it does is it stops your heart for a second. Another one that will make you lose your breath is you punch them or hit them right square in the chest. Right square, right here. And what you're doing is when you're fighting, if you were to hit that person, they're going to lose one breath. If I can keep the pressure on him, the cadence, which is his breathing pattern, he's got a breathing pattern. If I interrupt that breathing pattern, that one step, that one beat that he loses will make him try to play catch up. Therefore, I'm still one above him. I can breathe normally. He can't breathe normally because he's now playing catch up. So he'll be one beat behind. Okay, so that's where you use that. So again, Sandra up. So you have, again, you have the liver shot and you have what they call the floating rib, which is the bottom ribs here. You want to hit these up. Okay, so you hit the floating rib. You hit the floating ribs in the back. And you hit the kidney in the back. The kidney causes the legs to weaken. The floating rib causes you to curl up, to curl. Okay, so you have a floating rib. Another thing you want to hit is the hip pointer or the hip flexor or the hip bone. And you'd use a knee on that. You just knee the hip bone. And what it does, it's a pointer. In football, they call it a hip pointer. And it's because a football player, they'll, with their hands up, they'll spear you with the headgear or with the helmet or the shoulder pad to get the hip pointer and cause the guy to go down. It's kind of like a Charlie horse, but it's on the hip flexor. You'll add your knee here. So these are all targets you're going to use. Again, you'll hit the back of the floating rib. You'll hit the kidney. Okay. You can also hit the upper part of the butt, which is right here. And what this is, it'll cause a Charlie horse. I like to use that with a heel or a knee. Another place you'll hit is the coccyx, which is the tailbone. There's, on his back here, there's a sacrum. His sacrum here is a V. At the V, at the point of that, you'll knee straight up. And it causes the person, you can break the coccyx, which is your tailbone. If you can break that or even chip it or bruise it, it's really painful, not only to sit down, but to walk. Okay, so that's the coccyx. Okay, targets on the inside of the leg would be inside of the calf. The nerves are more exposed here, and if he turns the other way, I aim for the belly of the calf, right in between. I aim for the middle of the calf, okay, right here, and right here, aim for with the heel. Okay, foot stomp. There's a few ways you could do it. You're going to stomp either the top of the foot, or you're going to skid it from the side, or you can skid it from the side this way, causing the instep to break. 1, 2, or you can hit it 3. When I stomp, I could stomp a couple ways. Stomp, 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 or stomp and stomp like that. Okay. Floating ribs, solar plexus. Hit the side of the solar plexus, which is actually in the center, they call the xiphoid process. The xiphoid process is the little bone that comes down, and if you can break that, he'll have a hard time breathing. Spear here, these are with your knee shots. You can also hit here on the chest to create pain, usually with an elbow if he throws a hook. They drive the elbow in here, or the intercostal. He does they drive it in here like that, and you get the pain. He throws a hook, they drive it in like this, or sometimes he hooks, they punch in, bong, or he hooks, boom, they cover, and they knee right up into here. So all throughout here is really tender. You have the armpit with all the lymph nodes, and you're going to hit in this area to damage the person. The punch usually, because he slips to the outside, but he doesn't drop his shoulder, he just slips with his head, you'll punch straight down the middle, and that's usually when you'll get the heart punch. If he's here and he slips to the outside like that, I just go straight down the middle. Okay. The solar plexus will knock the air out of the person right here, and the xiphoid, if you can hit the xiphoid, it's usually when you hit it, it'd be from the side more, and that's to get the wind knocked out of them. Okay. And these are all targets you're going to use. On the face, this is the button, the chin right here. You can also hit it from the side, and straight on. You can break the nose. You can hit the base or the bridge of the nose. The base of the nose will cause the eyes to water and possibly to break. This, you want to kind of either clip it, I either want to hit it straight on, or I want to kind of hit it from the side so you can break it. If you hit here on the eyebrows at all, it would be more of like if his hands are up, it would be more like I'm going to come down and I would glance it. And that's to get a cut. I want to cut his eyebrows. And these are easy to cut with a knee or with a hand or an elbow or a headbutt. A knockout, again, is usually on the button. There's 3 spots. You have the chin, the chin. Another one you're going to aim for is the temple, temple left, temple right. Or I'm going to hit for the occipital ridge here, which is back of the head or back of the neck or side of the neck. A lot of times you can hit a person on the side of the neck here with a shin bone, with a forearm, or sometimes even a punch and stun them or knock them out. So you have the chin left and right, because I can hit it from the side. I can hit it straight on, or I can hit it from the side. Temple is the same thing, temple, or I could spin back in temple. Okay, you can also hit the occipital ridge. He shoots in, I shove him, I scoop, and I hit it here on the back of the neck. This is a knockout also. Again, he shoots, I stop him, I scoop him, and I hit him here. So there's tons of spots that you can hit someone to hurt them or knock them out. You're just not aiming for the body to hit the body. You have to be a little more precise. So as time moves on and you start playing in this clinching game, you really want to aim for the vital targets on his body that would be easiest to really hurt or damage him. The throat's always an easy one. If he leans back when I throw a right cross, I aim for the throat or I aim for the chest, the top of the chest. There's 2 notches right here on the top of the chest that I aim for. So when he leans back, look, it goes right into the chin. So if he leans back, aim for the chest, boom, it's right on the chin. If I aim for the chin and he leans back, I'll probably hit his forehead or his nose or his eye. So aim for the chest, lean back. And the same thing when I hook him. If I aim at the top of his head, when I hook, or even at the temple, he can move, as he moves, boom, I'm going to miss. So I'm going to aim at his shoulder because it'll bounce off. I aim here at his shoulder. See how it bounces off? Okay, and it's easier to catch. Another thing is when I elbow. If I elbow him, just like this, he leans back, I'm going to miss. So don't snap the tip of your elbow where you want to hit. Hit the middle of your forearm at the ear. So when he leans back, okay, you're still going to snip it. So if I go here and just aim it here, you can miss. If you aim your forearm at his ear when he leans back, you're still going to catch the elbow. Same thing here. Boom. Okay? And the elbows have different directions. Same with your punches. Your punches can come from all different directions. You can come down, over the top, upper, diagonal upper, hooking, overhand. You want to mix all your angles. This would be more for cutting and knocking out. To bring the person down, this is for lifting them up. And your uppercut isn't always a lift here, but sometimes it's a push. You hit the body and push it upwards. So I'd use it upwards like that and bring it down. Okay, so when we start to clinch and play and spar, these are some of the targets we're going to aim for a little bit. One thing that's important when you guys are sparring, again, and in the clinch positions, is the fact that if someone's got a good base and good control, they've got the same shots on you as you do on them. So sometimes the best shot to throw to them or at them is when you off-balance them. So a lot of times what I'll do here is I will attempt to throw Jeremy, like if we're in tight, we're 50-50, I might try to take him down, and as he backs out because he doesn't want to get taken, the best time to hit him is here. The same thing here, I might try to head and arm him as he off-balances here. Look at, there's where my knee goes. So sometimes in each position, even if we're here, we get in tight, and I think, like I'm gonna whiz, look, oh, there's the best time to hit in the knee. So we're gonna go from off-balancing. This, of course, will be the most valuable training on this DVD, because what it is putting everything together. It's your movement, it's your control, it's your sensitivity, it's your striking, your off-balancing, your throwing. So everything has to come together. All my fighters and people in my classes and seminars, when they train, they consistently have to play with the clinch. I make everybody do it. You have to. That's putting everything together. If you don't do it, It's just like practicing baseball and not going out and playing a game. It's like doing wrestling and not going out and ever having a meet and competing against other people. You have to do it. It has to be tried, true, and contested to figure out what works and what doesn't, and what you can use and how to establish your game. Okay, Jeremy and I usually, well, touch gloves, and we start out. We just play a little bit. Nice hits. Okay, now, if we spear, a big spear here is okay, but usually we hit kind of more with curved knees for training, just because we don't have knee pads on. Otherwise, someone's going to bruise or break a rib. So we just play a little bit. We don't hit too hard. We just try to tap each other a little bit. Control, play. You'll see all the sensitivity come out as we start to play.